everyone. This is Siri, a teacher at Siri's channel, and welcome once again. Well, I'm doing an unexpected book, an unplanned book, because I actually I was approached by an author, a new author on Goodreads.com back around about 2 weeks ago. He messaged me. He sent me a friend request, and then he messaged me, and he is a first-time author. So I didn't know anything about him, never heard of him, didn't know anything about his book. In fact, when he contacted me, the book was not published at the time. It was actually published last week on the 15th. Okay. And the book was called Then He Sent Prophets. Okay. And the author is named Mohamed Seif El Nasr. So Mohamed Seif El Nasr sent me a friend request on Goodreads, and then he messaged me and thanked me for accepting his friend request. And then he told me that he had noticed, looked through my bookshelf on Goodreads, the kind of books that I like to write, and he felt that I would like his book, and he offered for me to read his book for free. He told me it hadn't been published yet, but it was going to be published like the following week. And he asked me if I want to read it, because he thought maybe I would like to read it. And I, agreed. I actually looked him up on the internet, looked up his name, and I found an article on a news site called The New Arab talking about him. And as it turns out, this is his first book, but he has been writing online. I think he used to be a banker. I think he was in banking, and then he decided to turn to writing. So he had written for websites like MundoWise and Truth Out, which I was familiar with these news websites. So at the time, I didn't even realize that until much later, after I had finished the book. I noticed it on his Goodreads, but he offered for me to read his book. It's a historical novel, like I said, called And Then He Sent Prophets. And he asked me, and so I agreed. I said, well, I hope I'm not biting off more than I can chew, because I am a kind of slow reader. But I said, if I just sort of, get completely focused, put aside the books that I'm currently reading and just read his, I should be able to finish it before the month is out. Because he told me, if I agreed to read it, he would give me a copy for free in whichever format I wanted, and then he would send it to me. So he lives, I assume, in Egypt or maybe in Cairo. I'm not sure. I didn't ask him, but that's where he was born, in Cairo, Egypt. And so I told him to send it, just send it to me. He could send a PDF. So he sent me a PDF and an EPUB through my email address. I sent him my email address. And I finished the book earlier this week. And I also wrote the book review, which is on Goodreads. And I will share it in the description, my review. And also I will put the links to the article about him and his book on The New Arab. And also there's a more recent interview done with him on Arab Lit Quarterly. So, which is a literary magazine on Arab literature. So, I want to talk a little bit about the book. I gave the book 5 stars on Goodreads. The style of the book is sort of like, it was written more like, the style reminded me somewhat of like oral folk writing in a way, kind of, not exactly, but sort of bordering on like, that sort of simple type, sort of straightforward kind of writing, like folk writing. And the novel, like I said, is historical, and it's set in Fez, Morocco in the 1300s. The setting is in Morocco and also in Spain. Okay. So the novel takes place before the Reconquista of Spain, which was the conquest by Spain by the Spanish monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, from the Moors. Okay. The main character of the novel is Zachariah, and the novel is told from his point of view. It's written in third person, so it's not first person. And Zachariah is a young scholar, and he becomes a scribe in the palace. And the novel brings up a lot of different things about it. It's sort of like a family saga. It is it's philosophical in a way. It talks about power and how power can be abused. It talks about it has a romantic element to it. Zacharias, he's sort of he's idealistic character, but he's also quite flawed as well. And so the novel focuses around him and his family, his friendships, his adversaries, his married life. He's married. He's a young man, and like I said, he's idealistic. And it brings up these different things about power and and also another thing is too, he's a young scholar and he starts writing about his ideas about Islam. He's trying to find a pure understanding of Islam. He feels that basically many of the Islamic teachers of his time, the ones that he know, have sort of corrupted the Quran and are sort of adding in different things that their prophet did not intend. So the book talks about all of that, and it's quite interesting. And I want to also mention, I want to also read from my journal here that I write down quotes from what I read. And so I'm going to read a few things here from Then He Sent Prophets. Okay. These are some quotes that stood out to me. Okay. So I'm going to read some. It is painful to see people of dubious character declare without hesitation that they are devout Muslims. It is depressing that the followers of the prophet who stated that he was sent only to perfect morality can utter such statements while leading immoral lives. It is confusing when they look at you with dry, unflinching eyes and insist they do whatever God has ordained and are confident of their reward in paradise. Okay. So yeah, and I wrote in cursive, and it's sort of dark in here where I am. It looks darker actually in here than it does on the video. Know people that being indifferent to evil is worse than committing evil. Know that shame is worse than death. Allah forgive us for our helplessness. Allah forgive us. Okay. What I feel is that it has become impossible to escape the plain truth. What I feel is that only a coward could keep on living like nothing has happened. Okay. If it turns out they ordered the killing of those children, I will make it my only aim in life to see that they pay for it. If the people of this city accept to be ruled by such monsters, I will not. By Allah, I will not. Okay. People following orders commit the worst evils in the world. Between a ruler who tries to convince everyone, including himself, that his crime, no matter how horrible, is for the general good, that he killed or tortured 100 to save 1,000, and a soldier who just follows orders, I cannot read my writing. Blame is lost. Follows orders. Blame is lost, and one can't find the heart in which to stick his knife and make things right. Okay, you would never understand how the absence of basic necessities strips people of their dignity. You would never understand that the worst trick ever designed by rulers is to make the people so deprived that they lose their moral compass. Here's another one more. The more you live among people, the more you see your ideals compromised. Okay. All right. So it kind of sounds kind of depressing, but that's how real life is. Real life can be depressing. Yeah. As I talk tonight, as I'm filming this, earlier when I finished teaching my last student of the day, I got news on the internet that Israel was bombing Iran. So I don't know if it's true because it's mixed messages, but we will see. Okay, we will see. As you know, I'm wearing the keffiyeh here. This is not the Palestinian one, but this is one I got years ago. I tended to wear it like a scarf, but I live here in the South, so certainly wouldn't want to wear it out now. But yeah, this is one that would probably be maybe more Jordanian or something. But this the Palestinian one is black and white, and it has like the like for the netting, like it's the fish nets. But this one's different. Okay. But yeah, I thought I would wear this in support of the people in Gaza and Palestine and also in Lebanon. But yeah, but getting back on the story again. But yeah, I pretty much like the story. I like the story. I gave it 5 stars, and it is up now on Amazon. I checked, I think day before yesterday, so it is on Amazon. It's only in paperback form though. It's only, I'm not paperback. It's only in hardcover, I believe, not paperback. I'm not sure, but it's not. There's no ebook yet. Okay, so maybe that will come later, and there's, of course, there's no audio book for for people that like audio. But yeah, this is I just thought I would do a video talking about his book, Mohamed Seif El Mohamed Seif El Nasr's book. Then he sent prophets. It was unexpected, and yeah, I did want to mention this is what you call when authors approach people like on goodreads.com and ask you to read their book, particularly now in the case of his book, it was not already published. It was called, and it was called what you call an ARC, A-R-C, Advanced Reader's Copy. So he sent me an advanced reader's copy for an honest review. Okay, and that's what I did. I wrote a review, and like I said, I will share it in in the description so you can read what I wrote about his book. I wrote a short review, and so authors will do this to get, to get people to, to get reviews, and also to get readers for their books, because nowadays it's hard for authors, whether they're self-publishing or whether they're going through a traditional publisher to get their works published. It's not an easy thing. It's hard. It's always been pretty difficult, but it's hard, and to really get it out there, marketed to the public. But he has sort of a head start, like I said, because his there was a article on the New Arab talking about him and his novel even before it was published, and he told me himself that he was lucky that he was able to get his to get some attention. Attention was shined on his book before it was published. But yeah, another thing I want to say about ARCs or books like that, you can sometimes you can actually write to authors and ask them, can I have a free copy? Some of them will definitely will give you a free copy. They will, either send it online in a certain form, PDF or EPUB, or they will send you a copy. Mohamed Seif El Nasr, his book, he was the third author on Goodreads to ask me to read something of his. The first one that asked me was an African-American guy. I had ran across his book of short stories that were interconnected, and I liked it a lot and gave it like 5 stars. And so he offered for me to read another book of his that was a detective novel, and he actually mailed me a copy of the book. He mailed, I think when I got it, it was a package, and it was from Washington State. And then there was another older guy that was retired. I forgot what his job was, but he was an Arab man. He was an older man, and he sent me gave me a free copy online of his he wrote a detective novel as well. So yeah, a lot of times authors, you can approach them like on Goodreads. You can, get their email, write to them through their website. And also, this is the case also with professors. Professors will write certain books, and a lot of times now, if you are a professor, if you're an academic, it's difficult to get your work out there to the public. So if you see, there's a professor, you want to read his or her book, you can just email them, write them, and sometimes they will be very glad to send you a copy out through the mail, depending on where they are, or if they, or they will send you, like I said, an ebook copy through the internet. So yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to share this about this was totally unplanned, because my plan was I was going to continue. Then I did the next video. I was going to talk about fathers and sons, and also I had planned that I was going to read Edward Said's memoir, Out of Place. But maybe about a day before I had planned that I was going to start reading the memoir, that's when I heard from Mohamed Seif El Nasr. But yeah, it was. I enjoyed the book, and I will put the link to it in my in the description as well, the link to it, or you can also the articles that I mentioned, the interview that I mentioned with that was done with him. Not my interview, but Arab Lit Quarterly did, and also I will send. I will also give the also the article from the New Arab. Okay, so yeah, so we'll see what's going on. Are we going to be in World War III? We're already, I feel that we've been in World War III now, really since 2001. To be honest, I would say we are. Okay, but things seem to be really heating up. But I've checked checked on a lot of times I use Instagram to get the news. Surprisingly, and not just Instagram. I use different sources, YouTube and all over Facebook. But to follow geopolitical news, I even use Instagram. So I follow like news agencies that have their Instagram pages on Instagram. So one of them I follow is Roya in Jordan. I think I follow both the Arabic and I follow the English form of Roya. Yeah, and also I think I follow them on YouTube as well. So I'm keeping abreast of what's going on. I was thinking that if there was any kind of attack on Iran, that they might would wait until after the election. But it's a possibility they may have started tonight. I don't know. But this is Friday night here, October the 25th. So we'll see. So what a world. What a world. You just don't know. But so I'm going to end here. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. So this is Sincere. Until next time.